Hello, 8th grade scientists. This is Miss Ludwig. This is the weekly overview for week 10 in science class for remote students. This week, week 10, will run from October 19th, and all of your assignments will be due on October 25th. This is the end of the periodic table. We have officially learned all of the new content, so this week we are focusing on reviewing what we've learned in the periodic table unit, and then also taking the unit test at the end of the week. So when you are looking at week 10, you may notice that it looks a little bit different, and a lot of your assignments look like they're grayed out, and when I try to click on them, I can't click. And we did that on purpose. So every week, you are supposed to start at the top of your module and complete each assignment in order from top to bottom. So since we have a lot of review items and we want to make sure that you have fully reviewed and you're prepared to take your unit test for the periodic table, we have set some requirements so that you have to click on each assignment and move through it in order. It will not open anything at the end. You cannot skip straight to the test this week, okay? So the first thing I want to point out is that there is a notice at the top that says this module will close on November 1st. So we are officially in the second 9-week grading period. So first 9 weeks is behind us. This is the end of the periodic table unit. So we are going to give a little extra time to get caught up in case you're behind. Week 9 and week 10 will be on your second report card. So we want to make sure that you are finishing those assignments, but also we don't want you to get so caught up in your late work that you don't keep moving forward with your current assignments. So our next unit is the energy unit, and it is a very short unit. So if you spend a lot of time trying to get caught up in periodic table, it is quite possible that you're going to miss the entire energy unit. Okay, so in order to kind of keep ourselves organized and staying on track with our current assignments, we are going to close this module and week 9 module, everything for the periodic table unit and everything that has happened from the beginning of the year on November 1st. So if you have missing assignments, you need to work really hard to get those caught up before November 1st. All right, so let's move on. So notice our first assignment is available to click on. It is the week 10 at a glance. You will have to click on it and read it before anything else in the module will open for you, okay? So take a look at the week 10 at a glance. You are cohort R, so everything on the right-hand side is going to be your suggested pacing for the week. And again, there's a note that says week 9 and 10, finish out our periodic table unit. These modules will be closing on November 1st. So take a look at your assignments, make sure that you know what you're going to do. And then once I go back to this home screen, I can click home. And I've got your module way at the bottom while I'm recording, but after I have clicked on that, my next assignment, I've got my green check mark, and my next assignment is now open. I'm able to click on this now because I have completed the assignment before it. So under day 1, we have several activities. The element concept map, so the element math answer key, balancing chemical equations quizzes review, and a Who Am I periodic table practice worksheet. Again, you have to go in order. So you have to click on the element concept map. This is just a quick review of some of the information from the periodic table. So as you click on this slideshow, the answers will appear. This is a concept map, so we kind of start with the main idea elements in the middle, and you read it like a sentence. So elements are identified by atoms. Atoms are composed by the nucleus and the electron cloud. The nucleus is made of protons and neutrons, which combine to give the mass number. The electron cloud is made of particles called electrons. So you can kind of see how that works. So you read the sentence, read the information as a sentence, kind of starting with the main idea and working your way through, just as a quick, easy review. I can scroll down and click the next button to see my next activity. You should have completed the element math activity last week. Just checking to make sure that you remember that the atomic number is the top number, the number of protons and the number of electrons is the same as the atomic number, the atomic mass is the bottom number. If you round that number to the nearest whole number, you have the rounded atomic mass or the mass number. And to find the number of neutrons, you subtract the mass number minus the atomic number, which is 2 for this example. So check your answers for this just to make sure that you're understanding how to properly calculate atomic information. So not a whole lot there, just check your answers, and then you can move on. The next assignment does have a submission. So this is the Balancing Chemical Equations Quizzes Review. So last week we talked about balancing chemical equations. We have put a Khan Academy video in here for you to watch just to review that process of how to correctly balance a chemical equation. And then you can scroll down and play the quizzes game. Your goal is to get an 85% or higher as usual. When you meet that goal, screenshot and submit in Canvas for a grade. I'm going to go back to the home screen really quick, just to show you how my modules are opening, and you will not have to scroll down to the bottom like I am. I have this at the bottom while I'm recording. So now that I have done the element concept map, I checked my answers for element math, I'm on the Balancing Chemical Equations Quizzes Review. I still cannot click on the Who Am I PT practice worksheet because I have not submitted my assignment. These little gray numbers tell you what you have to do in order for the next assignment to show up. So you have to do the quizzes, you have to screenshot and submit, and then once I do that and you get confetti, I'll get a green check mark here and I will be able to move on to the next assignment. So the entire module works that way. Some of these assignments are simple. It says view. If you click on their review games, we would like you to complete those review games before you do the periodic table unit test. However, there's not necessarily a submission in order to move on to the next item. So this one is a link. It says view. So as long as I've checked that out and done it, I don't have to submit anything. Once I've done that, the next item, the chemistry crossword puzzle, will open. Notice that says submit. So in order to get to the Jeopardy game, you will have to submit your answers to the chemistry crossword puzzle. Now, I'm going to leave student view because I just wanted to show you how that's all grayed out. You have to do all of these things before you get to the bottom where the periodic table test is and also an extra credit opportunity, okay? I'm going to go ahead and leave student view so I can show you a few things as the teacher. Again, I need to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Sorry about that. Okay, so under day 1, you will be doing the quizzes. The next item is the Who Am I PT practice worksheet. You will need to have a copy of the periodic table as it says in the directions. There's an electronic copy. You can use one in your time tracker. Ms. Kerr has made you a video to explain how this assignment works. But basically, if you, let me open this up a little bit more. Basically, you're practicing using the skills on the periodic table, looking at the periodic table, identifying a non-metal as part of the halogen family, atomic mass of 35. So you really have to apply the things we've talked about. Where are the metals, non-metals, and metalloids? What is the name of the different families and groups? What is the difference between an atomic mass and an atomic number? So go ahead and watch Ms. Kerr's video first. She will get you started on this assignment, and then you can finish it up and submit. I'm going to go back to my home view again. So that's a good little activity to see if you have really paid attention to what we've been teaching you throughout this unit. So that's the end of the day 1 assignments. Under day 2, we have some more review activities. There is a Chem List 1 through 5 vocabulary Quizlet that you can practice some vocabulary with. A chemistry crossword puzzle that when you are done, you'll have to submit a screenshot of your work. There is also a periodic table Jeopardy review game that you can play on your own to review this information. On day 3, you will have the answer key to the Who Am I worksheet, so the one with the question mark. You have to submit, because you'll have this all grayed out, you have to submit your answers before you can check your answers the next day, okay? But we would like you to go in and check the answer key and make sure that you're understanding how to find the information on the periodic table. If you notice that you got a lot of them wrong, email your teacher and we can help you try to sort that out before you take your test. Day 3, item number 2 is to do the periodic table unit Quizlet review. So you can play that Quizlet and submit a screenshot. Notice again it says submit, so you'll have to submit something before the next item will open up for you. Number 3 is some more chemistry vocab review games that you can play to prepare. Day 4, again, some counting atoms review, because that's a really important skill for being able to balance chemical equations. The periodic table unit quizzes review that we usually do right before a unit test. And then on day 5, this looks like a lot of work. Hopefully most of it is actually done. What I have done is I have dragged the separate study guide sections from your old modules into this module. So when you're looking at this, if you already have a green check mark for these study guide sections, that means you're already done with it. I just added them in there in case you missed some, because I want you to definitely answer all those questions before you take the unit test. So if you already have green check marks for all of these periodic table study guide questions, you are good to go. You should be able to move on to the periodic table study guide answer key and check to make sure all your answers are correct. If you have any of these study guide sections that do not have a green check mark, that means you need to complete them before you will be able to move on. Item number 6 is the answer key to all of the study guide questions on a slideshow, so you can click through the answers and review them. Again, if you have any questions about any of that before you take your test, shoot your teacher an email and make sure you get some help with that, okay? And then the last item, mandatory item for the week, is the periodic table test. It is set up the same as the last Intro to Chemistry test, so it is built into Canvas. There are 30 questions. They're worth 2 points apiece for a total of 60 points. Run one quick side note: if you do receive testing accommodations such as read aloud and things of that nature, make sure you use your testing accommodations during the test. Again, this is an at-home test. You are remote students. You're always home. So we encourage you to use your notes, your periodic table notes if you need to. Make sure you definitely study and do all the review activities first. But then again, like if you have read aloud, you should have a button up here where you can click on the little megaphone button and it will read your test to you. So please use those accommodations if that applies to you. Lastly is an extra credit opportunity to start off the Q2 quarter for grading with a bang. The chemistry gossip, we went over this in a Google Meet last week, so if you were paying attention, you know all the answers already. Some of you have already emailed your teachers the answers, so you'll get credit for that. If you have not done that, you are not present in the Google Meet where we went over this, you can complete this extra credit assignment using the periodic table. Type your answers in the text entry box. Make sure you read the directions. So the step number 1, it says, I bet that outfit is made of copper and tellurium, because it is so. So you are using a periodic table to find the symbols of these elements, copper and tellurium. So copper is a capital C, lowercase u, so I would write that on the line. Tellurium is a capital T, lowercase e, so I'd write that on the line, and it would spell the word cute. Okay, but make sure that you capitalize the symbols correctly in order to receive credit. All right. If you have any questions this week, please shoot your email, or please shoot your teacher an email. Sorry, and we will be happy to help you. Okay. Have a great week.